at the Kia stores of Anniston, Oxford for another edition of the Coach Etheredge Show. I got two happy coaches with me right now. Coach Cochran, the defensive coordinator, Coach Keith Etheredge, the head coach at Oxford High School. Coach, take us back to last week. You knew you was playing an undefeated team on the road in a region game, a team that had got a lot of confidence, and you spoke highly of them before you went down there. Walk us through that game, how that turned out last week, 56-0.
I think we did a great job. Coach Cochran did a great job of preparing our guys' defense. We came out and made a statement. The opening drive, our guys came out, ready to play. We broke out the white uniforms, all white.
I got that question
uniforms.
right here.
But
that question.
And I think our guys were really pumped. We've gotten better each game, defensively and offensively, and I think that we talked about coming into it, and being about mid-season form, about 5th, 6th game, and I think that our kids have really responded.
You had the trifecta. I like to call it the trifecta. You get a win, then it's a region win, and then it's a shutout. I know this young man over here beside me has a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
Talk about what it means to get a trifecta like that, especially on the road.
Yeah, it's great, and I can't say enough about Coach Cochran. I mean, he does a fantastic job. He's the best in the business. Ain't nobody anywhere I'd rather have, calling defenses. He's just, one of those guys who knows how to get the most out of his kids, knows how to inspire them, and knows how to push them to a point where they thought they couldn't get to, and loves them. So it's awesome having him on the defensive side and Coach Wagner on the offensive side, because those two guys are super competitive, and I know we talked with some kids about how they get after each other sometimes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
Coach Cochran, I've heard a lot of great things about you. So glad to have you on the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Man, one of the things I've heard about you is you're intense. You're a perfectionist. You don't just settle for a half effort. I think that's what makes you and Wagner very good, work good together. But take us back to last week specifically. You knew going in that you're going to be on the road again, playing Michael Rich, the seasoned quarterback. Carnell Davis is a very good running back. You knew you had some challenges, but take us through that performance, that shutout performance you had last week.
Starting on Sunday, we told our guys, this is a really good offense. They do a great job schematical, trying to outflank you, do some things to put your defense in some tough situations, and our guys really dialed in. And I'll tell you, our guys have gotten better and better each week. We knew going into the season we were having some holes we had to fill. I feel like our coaching staff has done an amazing job of bringing those guys along each week and believing in what we're doing. Their fundamentals and techniques have gotten better. But going into last week, we knew going on the road at Southside, as good as they are offensively, we knew we were going to bring our A game. And our guys were dialed in all week. I mean, you can see it on Sunday when we started installing the game plan. Those guys were really dialed into the details, and that's the biggest thing we try to preach. We worry more about ourselves than we do anything else. If we can be as good as we can be each week, we feel really good about it. Our guys know that we're going to focus hard on our fundamentals and techniques every week, and they were really dialed in. Our check game was really good, but the guys understand we're going to play fast, we're going to play physical and violent. That's the way we practice. That's what we instill in those guys. We're an old school mentality of how we do things every week. And, we expect when we step on the field that we're going to dominate people. And I was really proud of how we started the game last week. We knew we had to start fast, play it in that atmosphere. They had a great atmosphere there. We had a ton of fans. They had a ton of fans. I mean, it was a great atmosphere. But our guys really stepped up to the plate. And I thought we played fast, and I thought we were very physical from the output. And really striking those guys early on. I think it just gave more confidence as we went along through the game.
I've looked at your defense specifically since the season started. Kind of started out slow a little bit against Thompson, gave up 56. Then you played an unbelievable offense at Pleasant Grove. Probably one of the best offenses you'll play all year. And I think you gave up 28 or 26, and then Scott Squirrel's 14, and then the shutout. You see the trend I'm going here? Yeah. So now talk about your progressions, and you've also gotten some guys back healthy.
We have, and think about it is we had some big time players that we had to replace from last year. And we knew it was going to be a tremendous test going into Thompson, and we knew we were going to learn a lot from that game and the Pleasant Grove game. We knew we were going to find out where we were at, where we needed to tweak some things, maybe where we needed to move some personnel around. And I'm proud of our guys because they kept their heads up. They kept battling. It was a short memory deal. That Thompson game was over. We went back to work on Sunday and made the corrections. We made some adjustment personnel. You know, Pleasant Grove, we still made a few mistakes. Had some guys have some bust here and there, but we continue to dial it in. We dialed in. You know, Scottsboro, we shut them out with the starting group. So we had a shutout with the starting group 2 weeks in a row now. So that's been big. And I really like where our team's focus is, offensively and defensively, but I'm more defensively. We're talking about that, but I like where our focus is. You know, we've got guys that have been really, really dialed in with the information that we're giving them, with their fundamentals, with their techniques, and it's been fun to watch some of those guys grow through these first 4 weeks. I tell you, I'm really proud of where those guys are at. I think we're in a really good place right now, but we're going to continue. We got to continue to get better. There's a lot of things fundamentally, as far as our reads, being disciplined with our eyes. You know, a lot of teams are going to go smoke and mirror because we run so well defensively. A lot of teams are going to smoke and mirror you, trying to get your guys chasing something they shouldn't be chasing. So you got to be really disciplined in your game plan.
Yeah, and the classification you guys play, I mean, you got to have your head on the swivel as a coach because they throw everything we catch and say catch.
Absolutely.
Coach Etheredge, my friend, you mentioned this earlier. Let's dive into it a little bit. Let's talk about those white unis. First of all, how did we come up with the white pants? It's been a long time since Oxford wore white on white.
Yeah, they have, and you know and I know the go pants are the tradition, and I love the go pants, and you know, but I feel like in today's society, you got to give kids a choice. You know, it got to a point where, you know, when we hand out the go pants, you know, they're like, we need some variation, coach. We need some variation. So we gave them a little variation this week. You know, we put the white in there, but we do have the classic old gold stripe. You know, I think it looks real good. You know, we've got some new jerseys that'll come in that'll debut in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Do the players know this yet?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They know we got some new jerseys.
This is going to be breaking news here.
No, that go with those white pants. The white jerseys we had wasn't the original custom stuff that we had made with those, so it's going to look real good. I'm really excited about that. But you know, in Oxford, tradition is huge. You know, and as it should be, because it's a tradition-rich school. And they have wore white in the past. You know, they just didn't wear it for long. I think they lost to Anniston one game in the white.
Get rid of
and
that.
I think that was done. So I told the guys, I said, look, when we come out here and wear this white, we better come out here and play. Play lights out. And they did. They stepped up to the plate, and the kids played lights out. And I thought we looked good doing it.
Absolutely. Coach Cochran, back to you. You know, talk about your unit specifically. You had a loss of pretty big, you know, studs up front, especially that you lost off last year's team. Talk about the progressions from some of these new starters that come in and some of these guys in the rotation now, where they're at this far into the season.
I'll tell you, we've really grown. I mean, I'll tell you, going into the Thompson game, I was tremendously concerned. 3 guys. I mean, you're taking 2 different guys. 2 guys. One started receiver last year. One started outside linebacker who had never played D-line before. You know, we were missing Jabari Ford at that time. He was out with ACL still. So we had 2 guys that never played D-line. We missed spring training. So all they had for preparation was the summertime and helmets, which, you know, we go pretty much full blow even wearing helmets. I mean, we got to create that physical toughness and mental toughness. But I was really, really proud of those guys. I thought, you know, run game, we didn't get tremendously hurt in the run game against Thompson. We just made some mistakes, you know, in different areas in the back end, but we corrected those things. But the guys up front have improved week after week after week. And what you're seeing about us this year a little bit more, last year we had 3 guys that were
just monsters.
They were dominant guys. And, of course, Jabari was a guy that rotated in last year. This year you're going to see us playing 7 or 8 guys, which is going to keep us fresher. You know, so that's going to be a bigger benefit. We got guys that are 7 or 8 guys that are equally as good. So you're going to see fresher guys playing on the field. So, you know, we shouldn't have guys out there that are really exhausted and tired. We've got guys that we can roll in and feel good about. We're moving, you know, we're doing some things up front a little bit different than we've done in the past just because of some different personnel. But I've really been pleased with just the coachability of the guys dialing in each week. And coming to practice with me each week I mean, they know their mindset gets to where they know it's going to be a physical all week long, and
game
they
time,
understand
baby.
what it's going to be like. But that prepares us on Friday night, and they know that. They know, we're hoping on Friday night it's going to be easier than what they get in practice.
Jabari is, I watched his highlights. That guy is an animal.
Man,
he's hard to block.
He had 6 tackles for loss and a sack last week. First game back.
Jeez, man.
You know,
what kind of rust are we talking about?
Man, really pleased with how he came back. Sure am.
Coach, overall, this man right here, what's this man mean to your program? Talk to me now. Let's hear it.
You know, he's one of the fires that light us. You know.
Yeah.
We sit and talk about, you know, intensity and coaching kids and kids wanting to play for guys. And he's one of those guys that kids just love to play for. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, it's like, you know, you talk about basketball on grass, but it's physical style and offense. And, you know, it's like a new age offensive style. And then you go back to Coach Cochran's defensive style is like a hard-nosed grind, axe grinding. You know, it's like he says, you know, every single week, you know, when we play on Friday, you know, Will tell you, he said, I'd rather play anybody on Friday night than face what I face every week.
He has said that.
You know, and that's a testament to the type of Coach Cochran is. You know, he's not gonna settle for anything but the best. He's not gonna let kids loaf. He's not gonna let them, you know, take plays off. And if they're gonna do that, they're gonna stand on solid.
I love that. Same question for you. What's it like to coach under Coach Etheredge?
It's phenomenal. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And since day one, he came in and he said, Coach, I believe in you. You're my guy. He said, you're going to run the defense. He said, I'm going to hands off. I'm going to run the program. You run the defense. And that's the way it's been since day one. And you know, and as a coordinator, to have a coach, you know, the head coach that believes in you and trusts in you and lets you do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
That's very important.
That's everything, really.
It is. It really is. And so, you know, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing, and you know, he's helped us. He's let me put together a great defensive staff. He said, you know, I want you to hire who you feel comfortable with and who you want, and we've done that. And of course, we brought in, you know, Coach Haggard this year that played for Coach at Leeds and played at JSU. He was a really, really good young coach. It's going to be a really good one. And so we're really excited to have him. But really pleased with my defensive staff and the way those guys are working. You know, the kids want to play hard for them. They're really working hard with attention to detail and the things that we want to accomplish. But you know, having Coach Etheredge just letting us do what we want to do and letting us run things the way we want to run it, because his style was a little bit different from mine, but he believed in what the way I ran things, and he's let me do that, and it's been such a huge blessing.
Look, I've been on the other side of that. I've had to deal with his style.
Coach
he kick you
like,
right in the teeth.
Yeah, I was like, Coach Etheredge's like, hey, let me just let this dude do what he does.
That's exactly right. And he does a phenomenal job.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the incident, man. We got to talk about it. I've heard from it from 5 different players and Coach Wagden, and now I got to hear your side of the story. Talk about the infamous ball punting on the spot of the first down at practice.
Well, this was Coach Etheredge was like, "What have I got myself?"
This is like the first 2 weeks. Spring training. We're going 2-minute drill. Of course, we're tagging off because I think we just got helmets on. Maybe still we're still doing 2-minute drill, and I think it's third and 8, or maybe 4th and 7, 4th and 8. It's somewhere in there. And they run a screen, and of course we tag off, and he gains probably about 5, maybe 6 yards, so he's 2 or 3 yards short. And all the offensive guys are screaming, first down, and they're spotting the ball up there, and I'm moving the ball back, they're spotting it up there, moving the ball back. And finally, I just picked it up and I just kicked it as far as I could kick it across. I mean, me and Coach Wagner are about as competitive as you'll ever see. He wants to win, I want to win, but the bottom line, but I'll tell you something. I think that set the tone for last year's team. Because Coach Wagner's guys knew he was going to fight for them. My guys knew I was going to fight for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I think that really set the tempo of what last year really was going to be.
That's awesome.
And you know what I found in it?
What's that?
A kicking coach. I'm standing. Really, it was the first week or so of spring training. You know, we're going over stuff, and when he kicked that ball, I went,
whoa.
It was great.
We got some fun.
We got some great laughs out of that.
Oh, we did. The next day we had in service.
But the kids are like, oh.
The next day we're sitting in service, and we were sitting beside each other, and Coach said, hey. And he took his camera out, and of course we put it on right there. And of course, me and Will, we're gonna get after him, man. And our whole staff's that way. We're all competitive.
Man,
but
awesome.
That's what makes our kids so competitive.
Oh, yeah,
too.
for sure.
I mean, they want to win.
Will said multiple times, he's like, man, what I face Monday through Thursday, it makes Friday a piece of cake sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's the same thing for us. Same for us defensively, seeing those guys. They do an incredible job on offense. Man, that's incredible, that kind of competitive spirit. And when they ever write a book about the championship run of last season,
right,
they don't say it. They could say it all started with a kick.
That's a good point.
Started and ended with a kick.
That's true. Man, that is true. Yeah, that's
right.
True.
Definitely do.
All right, so Coach, this far into the season, you feel like you're on pace of where you wanted to be this deep into the season, or how do you think things is going?
I think it's going well. I think that we've had that one loss, but we've learned from that loss, and I think that we played a top 20 team in the nation. What can you say? And played toe to toe with it for 3 quarters. I think that our eyes were a little big. Started the first quarter, and then we settled down and we played a lot better as the game went on. I think our coaching staff has done a great job, and I think that our kids have really responded. So I'm real happy with where we're at right now.
100%. And then you guys play Pell City coming up this week.
We do.
They're coming off a 14-0 win over Talladega last week. What have you seen from them, and what the challenges they're going to present for your defense?
Well, I tell you, they really found a run game last week. I think they really are going to hang their hat on our football. They really started to push Talladega around in the second half last week, and I think they may have found some things that they really like as far as the power run. I'm from Pell City, so that's it's obviously adds a little bit more to the fire for me, being coaching in this game. And it's always been a big rivalry. Right up I-20. I played at Pell City, and of course we battled Oxford all those years, 90 through 93, and it's going to be a war. Those guys are going to come ready to play. And we know we're going to get their best, and we got to start fast. We're going into their place. It's senior night for them. We've got to be ready to come out, being physical from the start, really set the tempo and set the tone of how things are going to go.
They're going to want to shorten this game and make it dirty and grimy.
Right. I believe so.
100%.
Yes, sir.
We don't have Coach Wagner here, but we're going to let Coach Etheredge speak for Coach Wagner. Defensively, they're coming off a shutout. Their confidence has to be high.
Right.
And senior night at their place.
Right.
Talk about the challenges they present for your offense.
Well, I just think that they got some hard-nosed kids. I coached a lot of these kids were freshmen when I was there coaching, so I know most of these kids, and they're good kids. They're hard-nosed kids, and they're going to leave it all on the line because, like Coach said, this is a rivalry for them. They think that they get a chance to come in and knock off one of the top teams in the state, and it'd be a feather in their hat, So I think that we got to come ready to play.
Absolutely. And before we close, y'all have a draft before the season to find out where Traquan's going to play and this guy's going to play. How does that work?
At the bottom line is we want to win.
Yeah.
And as a staff, we're going to do whatever it takes. If they got to have defensive guys to help them be successful offensively, then that's what we're going to do. If I've got to have some of their offensive guys, we're going to work together because at the end of the day, we want to win.
100%.
That's right.
That's more important than anything.
Okay. You may see a guy. You've got guys like Tucker Starling who may start on the defensive line one week, and the next week you see him starting on the offensive line.
Awesome.
You may see Traquan get 5 or 10 carries, or Rodriguez Elson get 5 or 10 carries one week, but they're going to be in the defensive backfield every snap. So it's just like Coach said, we want to win.
100%. No doubt. Well, y'all doing a pretty good bit of that.
We just got to keep it rolling week by week.
I had one of the Southside dads at the gym. I was working out. He walked up to me. He's like, "My God." He's like, "I ain't never seen nothing like those guys do. Like that was just unreal." And I was like, "Well," he said, "I watched y'all's coaches show, you and Coach Etheredge, and he said, I knew those guys was good, but he said we ain't been on the field with somebody like that in a long time here." He said that was just it's a little bit different animal we faced around here. And I said, well, the good thing is, when you play a team like Oxford, it's a good measuring stick for your program to where you want to go. And again, like on you guys end, just like you just mentioned, you're going to get that home run shot that they got every week, wherever you show them. You know what I mean?
Right. Everybody. I tell guys all the time, you went from the hunter to the hunted. Now you're the guy with the X on your back. You're the guy that everybody wants a piece of. You're the biggest guy in the room that every little guy wants to come take a swing at and take a chance. So you got to be ready to play week in, week out.
Week in, week out. That's it, guys. I appreciate you guys sitting in, man. This has been great. We've had a lot of positive feedback from the show, and it's been unbelievable. Great having you in, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
That's it for today.
Go Big Go.